Need Pokemon Go PvP coaching? Well, I'm a Metafy, so click the link in the video description and I'll take you right to my page. What's up, guys? Got another video today, Ultra Premier. This time we were just flipping the script, flipping the core around, and honestly, team felt good too. Climbed even further, had a lot of very hype plays. So let's get into the video. Before that, huge shout out to my Patreon supporters. Could not be doing this without you guys. And of course, my channel members as well. I should start saying that as well. Gone that bad habit. But yeah, let's get right into this video here. So the team here, the last video we put out was Trevenant and Obstagoon Core, or Amok. This time we still have Trevenant and Obstagoon, but this time we flipped the script, and this is just kind of an example to show why you can't just flip your lead, right? You just can't change your lead because you're running into something. If you change your lead, you also have to change your swap. If you're running ABB, if you're running balanced, you better hope that your balanced lead is also, or your new lead is also good with most matchups in general. But in this case, we switch it around. Gengar, honestly, very powerful Pokemon in this meta. Swampert's kind of been scared away by Trevenant, I think. And Gengar itself does decent against Trevenant and hits a lot of these other Pokemon extremely hard. Trevenant gives Ultra Premier Classic one of the only ghost safe swaps we have. So it kind of enables Gengar to do what it wants to do. And let's talk movesets really quick. We've got Cross Chop, Night Slash on the Obstagoon. We've got Seed Bomb, Shadow Ball, obviously on the Trevenant. And then Gengar, we've got Shadow Ball. So this is going to be the most contentious point. Please don't ask me in the comments about this. I already raged about this on stream a little bit. But Shadow Ball is the choice here. This is because in an ABB team, your goal is to bait out the ghost. So Gengar should be able to land Shadow Balls on almost everything, and Shadow Balls are necessary for Pokemon like Empoleon, Gyarados, etc. Anyways, we have a Machamp switch, and we're going to go right into Gengar here. This is a great matchup for Gengar. Regular Machamp means that you can tank the Rock Slide and not have to worry about it. They can spend shields, doesn't really matter. We're going to get them low, farm a little bit extra, throw the Shadow Punch. They fight for switch because they know they have a bad lead. But honestly, what they don't know as well is that Trevenant is also great versus Empoleon. So either way, it's looking pretty good. Going to go for another Shadow Punch here. See if they want a shield. And they do. So we'll just throw another. Oh yeah, I'm so mad about this game. So my Gengar loses CMP here to Machamp. It gets pulled in. I win CMP versus Machamp on the first one, but then somehow my second Shadow Punch still gets pulled into this. So I'm forced to go down 2 shields. And I think I lose the game because of this. Very frustrating. Yeah, GBL was not working very well with CMPs. I had a lot of weird CMPs on this day. Yeah, if I had a shield, I would have been able to deal with that Empoleon at the end. Or deal with the Psyshock and take out the Sylveon. Yeah, during this set, I'll try and point out all the times where I'm getting pulled into these random CMPs or just losing CMP where I shouldn't. I think there were times where my Gengar was losing CMP to all sorts of different Pokemon, and Trevenant was losing CMP to all sorts of different Pokemon it shouldn't lose to. And you can see in this case, if I just had this shield, it would have been a very easy win here. But instead, I'm going to start off with 2 losses. That's fine. This is the first time I ever played the team. I was raging a little bit. But you don't give up on a team after 2 games. Let that be a lesson. See, look, 0-2. You don't give up on a team after 2 games. Let's take a look at how we play here and how this team matches up with the rest of the meta. Venusaur lead, not a great lead, but we have Trevenant and Gengar in the back to resist grass. Going to bring in the Trevenant, and they don't swap. Lots of teams seem to be triple weak to Trevenant right now. I have no idea why not everyone is running one. It's such a good Pokemon. Anyways, this Venusaur stays in. I'm going to no-shield one. I know I'm going to have to shield one anyways, but it honestly does not really matter. This matchup versus Venusaur is very, very solid. They've already spent a shield. They're staying in again. I could farm up a little bit more. I'm going to throw a Shadow Ball in case they let it go down, which they do. So now I have a bit of an energy lead. Remember to farm up. And because I farmed up a little bit, I'm going to be able to get to this Shadow Ball against Empoleon. I'm going to let Trevenant go down, obviously. And then we have Empoleon, or sorry, Obstagoon for Empoleon. And we'll see what they have in the back here. Tank the Hydro Cannon like nobody's business. In comes Swampert. This is a little bit scary, but you can understand why they didn't swap into Trevenant now. They have 2 water types in the back. Goon versus Shadow Swampert's not too bad. Remember, I also have Gengar. to deal with this as well. Gonna no shield this because I'm gonna get to this Night Slash regardless. See if I can burn a shield here. And then the win condition here is either they don't shield this, and then I farm down with Gengar with a shield, or they do shield it and I get to a Shadow Punch before they get to 2 Hydro Cannons. So that's why I no shield the Hydro Cannon there. Saving the shield for Gengar is pretty important. And then obviously Empoleon would have to farm all the way down, and that's not going to happen. So we'll take our first win of the set here. Feels pretty good. Trevenant is still busted. This is going to remain busted for all of Ultra League Premier. Dragalge, another pretty bad lead, but once again, a lead that we have an answer to. So 2 bad leads in a row that they just can't swap out of, it seems. So going to be able to deal some heavy damage with Shadow Ball. I decide to shield once. This could be an Outrage, I think. Wait, do I shield? No, oh yeah, because it could be an Outrage. If it's an Aqua Tail, they won't be able to get to another Outrage. They'll only be able to get to an Aqua Tail, which is something that Trevenant should be able to live from this range. Oh yeah, in Ultra League, it's not even close. And they're going to come in with their own Trevenant. This means I'm going to be able to grab a shield. Winning switch here was incredibly important because Obscune versus Trevenant is a dominating matchup. It's not close, as you guys have probably seen from the last video. I don't really need to have that many shields, and it looks like they've got Empoleon in the back anyways. So gonna stay with Obscune, deal some damage, and they're just gonna leave. So Obscune could honestly solo the rest of these Pokemon. I was gonna try and make a catch on a Gengar. Gengar is not useless here, but is more of a liability than Obscune is. So protect your MVP. In this case, it was Goon. Charizard lead. Unfortunately, this is not a great lead, but it's one that you have to stay in for a little bit. I would recommend, it's an ABB team, remember, we're playing ABB, so you're going to want to switch at some point. It's just a matter if you want to call the bait or not. So in this case, I think I no shield the Dragon Claw, which is very important. I'm going to land this Night Slash. And then swap into Trevenant, because right now they're in Shadow Claw range. And I'm going to shield because I can't count Dragon Breaths. It's just a Dragon Claw, unfortunately, but honestly, it doesn't matter too much. We have the shield advantage versus Trevenant. I know if I bait here, I should be able to get to another move, but they'd call it. So we're just going to throw Seed Bomb again. If they take Trevenant out now, it's going to be a nice farm for Obscune. They'll probably even counter down, so they shield. In this case, I'm not going to shield. I know my Trevenant is energy dry. This is the perfect time to be tanking move, and they Seed Bomb as well. And farm down. So well played by them. Going to come in with Goon, absorb the Seed Bomb. Doesn't really matter too much. Still my Gengar in the back with a shield. And I just hope that Gengar can kind of take out whatever's in the back here. And it is indeed a Machamp. So this is kind of how ABB works, right? They try and make a catch, and it fails, so they know the game is over. But yeah, ABB, you draw out the counter to Trevenant, which is their own Trevenant, and then you go ham on whatever's in the back. So we salvage that 0-2 start with a positive set. Let's see how we can keep doing. If you notice now, we're just we started this at 3,100, so here we have a Trevenant lead. This is absolutely amazing. We just have to keep switching. The Swampert switch-in is just chef's kiss. This is one of the hardest counters in the game to Swampert. If it's running Sludge Wave, it's a bit tougher, but in Ultra Premier, no one's running Sludge Wave. They're just running Earthquake, so you don't really have to worry too much about it. I'm going to tank 2 Hydros, charge up a little bit more. I got a bit scared. They were overcharging, but I really could have went a little bit higher. Little Seed Bomb now. And then in comes Trevenant. So decent amount of Trevenant in this set, or this series of sets. Gonna throw a Shadow Ball, and they just let it go down. And honestly, not a bad idea for them because they have a Sylveon in the back. They know Trevenant would be locked into Goon, so that's their best bet here. And a little bit of lag, but I'm gonna have to bait twice and land the Shadow Ball to win this game. If they call a bait on Sylveon, Sylveon actually wins the 2-shield versus Gengar. It's ridiculous. Sylveon is so tanky compared to the other Charmers. Gengar used to be considered a Charmancer, but really nowadays it's kind of hard to consider it a hard Charmancer when it just gets farmed down. But we're gonna get 2 successful baits here and be able to take down the Sylveon. If we didn't successfully bait, Obscune probably would have been able to come in and go for a Night Slash, but we didn't need to, luckily enough. All right, so Sylveon lead. This is kind of tough, right? We don't really have a good Charmancer, but we do have Trevenant. The goal here, though, because I just realized how hard that Sylveon Gengar matchup is to take shields down. So they swapped in a little bit slow. So I decided to shield here because I know I'm going to be able to get to another Shadow Ball, even if they bait. And burn the second shield. So obviously, if your opponent is a Charmer, just try and get those shields down. That's when you start trading shields. In this case, Obstagoon obviously is going to have to tank a Blast Burn here. I can't shield. I got to save shields for Gengar. But that's fine. Hopefully Gengar can take out Sylveon +1 with a shield. And it's not like Sylveon is going to be able to take that shield. So I probably should have swapped to Gengar here to Shadow Claw down the Charizard, but instead it's going to Blast Burn, and I'm going to have to swap into Gengar. This is a very tough game. I'm going to charge up as much as I can. They get to the Icy Wind, and I'm going to shield. So I know they get to Icy Wind in 4 hexes. That's 6 Shadow Claws. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ha ha ha. And then throw the Shadow Punch, because at this point, even though shields are down, I'm going to need to get to 2 Shadow Balls versus this Sylveon. They're waiting to come in because they're waiting their switch timer. Yeah. Would be easier with Sludge Bomb here, but actually no, it wouldn't because I'm debuffed. So it's the same thing. And we're gonna get to that second Shadow Ball. And this was only possible because of move counting, both on my end and on their end. So this is a mechanics win. This feels good. It just shows all the little things that you can do to kind of manufacture wins out of nothing. But yeah, that's a charm lead. We're able to come back from that. This is another awful lead. Like, we're not getting good leads this game at all. Or in these games. These are bad leads. It seems like I'm losing every single lead with Obstagoon. But it doesn't matter. Trevenant is just so good at just stealing back switch. They already shield the first Shadow Ball, as usual, on Charizard. In this case, I decide to let Trevenant go down. Because if they bait with Wing Attack Charizard, then I can take them out, or I can force another shield, or take them out. Because they didn't bait, my Obstagoon is going to have an easier time taking out this Charizard, and I have a shield advantage for Gengar. So hopefully this Gengar is able to take down the Poliwrath +1 in the back. But once again, Gengar can tank one move from Poliwrath, but if there is some sort of fast move pressure in the back, it's in trouble. In this case, they save their Charizard by swapping out, and there's a huge amount of lag here. I press Shadow Ball, and I lose CMP to Poliwrath. And yes, look, I'm not even clicking on my button, and it pulled me into this. So I lost CMP to Poliwrath as Gengar. Is this real life right now? I have no idea. Either way, gonna shield this one up. I want to get this Poliwrath into Shadow Punch range. So we're gonna spend 2 shields here. And just absolutely farm up on this Poliwrath. So get near 100 energy, throw the Shadow Punch right before their Ice Punch. So once again, you need to be counting their moves. And then they come in with Escav. Gonna throw the Shadow Ball here. And Shadow Ball, this is why you need Shadow Ball over the other moves. Because if they stayed in, I could have countered down. They don't get to Shadow Claw down. They don't get to a move. If they switch, I can take down the Charizard and get to a Shadow Punch. So it's kind of a damned if they do, damned if they don't situation. A great situation for me to be in, because we're going to get another 1 HP win out of a bad lead and out of some bad game mechanics happening in the game. Charizard lead. This is a bad lead, but a good lead, right? Got to stay in and call the Blast Burn bait. It really depends. Like, this is a coin flip. Honestly, I wish I could provide better advice. You're going to see me play differently this time. Last time I didn't shield. This time I shield because I really want to get this Night Slash off and I have CMP'd. So we actually do correctly shield the Blast Burn. If this Night Slash lands, I'll be switching right away. Once again. And they swap to Swampert. Ooh, that's not the switch. That's not the switch at all. So I'm not sure if that's a misclick or Trevenant just dominates the back line. But either way, gonna let it move through. Shadow Swampert actually quite a bit better versus Trevenant than regular Swampert because the Seed Bomb will one-shot anyways. And yeah, they CMP time me there. This is tough. I know shield because I know I'm going to be able to take out the Swampert anyways. I'm going to save my shield for Gengar. Yeah, they let the Swampert go down. This is the problem when I have a shield disadvantage. I can't keep affording shield with Gengar in the back. In comes Escav. I get greedy and try and go for an extra move. But really, I should have just swapped out to Gengar. I don't know what I'm doing. So because of that, I'm going to have to swap to catch a move on Obstagoon. If I catch a move, I mean, I didn't catch it at all, but they have to throw it. They make a great catch themselves onto Charizard. And at this point, I shouldn't be hitting the bubbles, but I do. And then Escav is going to come in. Luckily, it's now in Shadow Punch range, so I just need to race it to 2 moves. And my moves are much cheaper than its. So shield up this Drill Run, I'm assuming. And going to be able to get to that Shadow Punch, and Gengar will win CMP as long as the game is working correctly. So, going to win CMP here if they even are at the move, and win another game with another questionable lead. It's not like Obstagoon is stopping these leads, right? Like this is taking some play. Dragonite lead, another lead where you might think this is a pretty tough lead, but it's one that you have to stay in. I consider this a good lead, or any lead where you have to stay in a kind of a good lead. It's not good for the team, but I get baited into keeping going because I got the boost here. So finally get the boost on Obstagoon. It's been like 8 games. Thrown a lot of Night Slashes. Actually, no, I haven't. But I will shield once, just in case it's an outrage. But I'm not all in on my Goon here. I'm all in on my Gengar. So the goal here isn't to win Switch. It's just to take down this Dragonite. And goal successful. Gonna swap out into Trevenant. Even though my Goon is at very low health, this is a play I have to make. These Shadow Balls will still hurt the Muck a lot. And I'm going to throw the Seed Bomb here because I'm trying to win CMP and hope they Dark Pulse me. That's my only win con, and I get it. So we get the CMP. They throw the Dark Pulse. KO my Trevenant with 0 energy. This is what I have to do. So this is a really tough decision for me. I come in with the Gengar against the Alolan Muck. We're going to farm up a little bit more because Shadow Punch doesn't KO there. I have to shield. Go for the Dark Pulse anyways. And then in comes Venusaur. Shadow Ball is not enough to KO, but Gengar lives a Frenzy Plant. So I know I'm going to be able to get to that second Shadow Ball. And now it should be enough to KO. So going to throw this Shadow Ball. And then I have a tough decision to make. I think I swap into my Goon right away and try and make it to that Cross Chop. I don't quite make it there. But Gengar should be able to take down Muck before it gets to his Dark Pulse. So luckily they were energy dry. Otherwise that would have been a loss. So another win with just 1 HP there. Another tough lead. That was a 5-0, I believe, with all of them being tough leads. I feel like that just goes to show what you can do with this team if you're counting your moves and their moves and stuff. Gallade lead. I'm going to stay in on this one. I'm torn on how to play it because your backline is decent against Gallade. Well, Trevenant is. Gengar isn't. You got to get it low. And then I try and make a catch on close combat. But it's a Leaf Blade. They baited me, unfortunately. And because they baited me... Oh, I remember this game. Yeah, this is a fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice type deal. Because they baited me, Shadow Snorlax is able to lick all the way down. They threw close combat. I might be able to get to the 3rd Seed Bomb. Instead, if it's just a Snorlax switch and you get to that 3rd Seed Bomb and they are forced to shield. So it's not too bad. Versus regular Snorlax, different story. Regular Snorlax I think is better. In this case, I come in with Goon. And you're going to see this as a mistake. Because they're loaded. Why wouldn't I come in with Gengar instead? So that does a ton of damage, that superpower. And essentially this Snorlax just solos the entire team. Obviously not going to shield anything on Gengar here. But yeah, this Gallade deals a little bit too much to Gengar. I don't know what would have to be in the back for me to win this game. Especially having to throw energy at this. No, there's no way. Snorlax is just going to be able to take down if they 2-shield. And they've got Amok. So this game was not winnable. But you know what? I'm going to queue up. Let's get a redo. Let's go. Let's get a redo here. I want a redo. So Gallade. Redo. Shadow Gallade though. 1, 2, 3, 4. Throw right away. That's right in the middle of their confusion. And then we'll just throw 2 more. Try and catch the close combat on Trevenant. 1, 2. Close combat. Did not get caught. And they swap into Snorlax. Okay. Okay, so it is a redo. We did get a redo. Let's see if we can play this better. Madness is doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting different results. So last time, the play didn't work. What can we switch up this time? This is like your interactive video here. Try and think, what am I going to do here? What am I going to do in this situation to flip the script on this team? Okay, yeah, so they have to throw the move to take out Trevenant here. But what do I do? We're going to come with Gengar. We're going to farm down. It's a loaded Snorlax. None of these charge moves do anything. This is what you should be thinking about. especially for Pokemon like Snorlax and Gallade, their charge moves deal super effective damage to completely different Pokemon, right? So in this case, we're going to resist these charge moves with Gengar, farm it all the way down. We have essentially a Shadow Ball. Lapras comes in. So better than Amok for sure. Going to land that Shadow Ball. Land the Shadow Punch. Well, they're going to shield it. And they're going to try and farm down, but I'm going to get another shield with this Shadow Punch. And then swap to Goon here. Bit scared of what they could be throwing, but at the same time, can't really afford to shield. First one. Can I afford to shield the second one? Nope, can't afford to shield that either. Because this Gallade is all about its charge moves. It is loaded. It did not throw its moves. The Confusions, they do nothing. They do nothing. So it's perfectly fine as long as we save shields there. And then obviously Goon is going to be able to take Lapras in the back. So with the Snorlax switch in, we've learned that if they're low enough, you come in with Gengar instead. And you can farm down. And you get a nice big farm. Though Tactical himself, fantastic battler. I'm sure you guys all know of him already. Toxicroak lead. We're going to go into Trevenant. And they're going to come with Lapras. Shadow Lapras. So regular Lapras, I think, is pretty good. Trevenant beats it. Especially with a little bit of energy advantage. Straight Seed Bomb. Seen some people switch in. Shadow Lapras. That's interesting. Because Shadow Lapras can just farm all the way down in the 2 shield. So that's exactly what he's going to do. Going to go for the full farm down. I'm going to grab 2 shields. Yeah, and in comes Goon. You know what? Goon is already locked into this terrible matchup versus Toxie. I'm not going to shield any of these moves. It's honestly better if Goon is low HP anyways after this. Yeah, those surfs don't even do that much. And then we'll bring out Gengar because Toxicroak will for sure be coming in. And we won't get to see the third. I think it was Trevenant. That's what someone told me that he's running on stream. And yeah, Gengar with the shield advantage absolutely destroys Trevenant. So Shadow Machamp lead, not a great lead. And with the Charizard switch in, this Wing Attack Charizard, because this Wing Attack can throw the Shadow Ball. Gonna no shields their move. Although this Wing Attack Charizard looks like it's doing way more damage to my Trevenant for some reason. But they go for the Blast Burn. Gonna come back in with Obstagoon. And Obstagoon's matched up against Machamp. So we already took shield advantage with our Trevenant. It's done its job. Obstagoon's job is now to just tank all this damage. And then we have to pray that Gengar beats whatever's in the back with a shield advantage. So I switch, and then they swap into Trevenant. And like I said, with a shield advantage, this is good. But only if it shields down. These Shadow Claws are absolutely chunking Gengar. It's kind of like the Gallade matchup all over again. Gonna have to shield even though it's just a Seed Bomb. But we'll be able to throw the Shadow Punch here. Doesn't even KO the Trevenant. Trevenant is so good. So good. And then Gengar will be able to take down the Charizard, but this Machamp will counter it down in the end. So, close game. If they swapped a little bit slower, or if they didn't sneak a move through on Trevenant, I think I could have won it. But games of this level come down to the smallest of things. Can't be too upset about losing there. We got a Gyarados lead. We're going to swap right into Trevenant. And in comes Shadow Snorlax. So this is why you swap. I swap on Gyarados and not Dragonite or Charizard because Trevenant actually is decent against Gyarados. And this is the Shadow Snorlax matchup from full HP. So you can see how this plays out now. I'm going to get to this third Seed Bomb. And they're actually going to throw, I think, but I'm not going to shield this. Nothing they can do is going to stop me from getting the Seed Bomb off. So this is just less energy for them. The problem is it's pretty hard for me to farm down at this point. So Mom's asking if I'm free now. No, Mom, I'm battling. Mom. Okay. And going to go in with the Goon, try and catch a superpower. Little fancy play there, but they don't bite. In comes Gyarados. Go with the Shadow Ball. So this is why you need Shadow Ball on Gengar. If you have Sludge Bomb, Gyarados gets to a move. If you have Shadow Ball, it doesn't get to a move. So very important there. Gonna throw the Shadow Punch at this Snorlax to avoid getting licked down. And they actually do lick me down. I get my counter through so they can't double superpower. I'm gonna shield this for sure. And we're gonna see what they have in the back. We're gonna see what they have in the back. It is a Venusaur, so up 1 shield. Obstagoon versus Venusaur. This is not a great matchup, but up a shield, it's a good matchup. Just praying for the boost here, but honestly, I'm only running 1 lucky Pokemon with Obstagoon this time, so the chance of boost it seems to be highly diminished. I mean, we'll shield 1. It doesn't really matter. We have to shield anyways. They are at their second move. And Obstagoon can tank this. This isn't Great League, right? So it's pretty comfortable in the red, but we're at Night Slash. And gonna be able to get this off, and it's gonna KO the Venusaur. So, yet another win. I believe that's just a 3-2, right? But that's good for 3,200 points. And it would have been on the leaderboard had I stopped playing there and not started just memeing around with other teams and or with viewer suggested teams and dropping a little bit. But yeah, this just shows team extremely strong onto the leaderboard. I've since shot way past the threshold for leaderboard. I have some very exciting videos to go through. I don't know, they'll be fun, the next couple at the very least. But for now, that's the team. This team is very, in my opinion, is one of the best teams in Ultra League Premier right now. I think the other team as well with Trevenant lead is very good. I think just Trevenant is good. But yeah, I run either of those teams. I strongly stand behind them. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this, and thank you so much for watching.